13 people, most of them former cops, admitted to their roles in the massive DWI corruption scheme. Our investigative team uncovered case after case, revealing how dozens of people were targeted and exploited in the scheme that spanned 3 decades. Today, little to no information is being shared with those who were targeted by this corruption, something attorneys say they are entitled to by law. KRQE investigative reporter Gabrielle Burkhart shows you why the victims are crying foul over their long wait for justice.
Nearly 3 years later, and the fear still lingers.
I was scared, I still am sometimes. Doing this interview terrifies me because my face is out there now.
But there's something else driving Pedro Gonzalez to share his story.
Because it's not fair. It's not right. You have to be willing to step up if you know that something's not right.
Gonzalez is one of countless victims who know firsthand not all cops have your best interests in mind.
And I knew I was being extorted.
Those who do eventually helped piece together what we now know was a massive corruption scheme, a criminal enterprise that operated in the shadows for at least 3 decades, where police worked directly with defense attorneys to target people stopped for DWI, extorting them for cash in exchange for a guaranteed dismissal.
We have over 100 people that have reached out to us to ask for assistance through our class action. We've also been doing our own homework and believe that the class is much larger than that.
Taylor Smith and 2 other civil rights attorneys represent those suing in civil court, seeking justice for those they claim had their lives upended by corrupt police officers.
The victims call us for information, and they have a right to know what's going on, and the law mandates that as well.
But attorneys say federal prosecutors aren't communicating with them.
The feds may know about 5 or 6 other officers. We need to know that as well so we can begin prosecuting those officers.
10 former officers so far, mostly from APD, pled guilty to federal crimes. To date, none of them are behind bars, and the civil case against them is stuck in legal purgatory. One of the cops turned criminals was Gonzalez's arresting officer in 2023, former APD officer Joshua Montano.
Gave me a DWI. They told me I was going to be going to court, but instead of taking me to jail, they ended up taking me home. Because I did have my dog.
Montano noted in his report the prisoner transport center was closed due to staffing issues, a pattern we noticed officers used in the scheme to skirt protocol. Gonzalez says the next day he got a call from Rick Mendez, a paralegal for former defense attorney Thomas Clear III.
Told me that you worked at Maverick and that you were going to need your license and you're going to need some help. And I was like, oh, okay. So he goes, if you want, we can meet somewhere later on today if you'd like. And I was like, okay. And I thought it was going to be like his office or something.
Instead, they met at a Freddy's parking lot where Mendez explained the deal.
He asked me if I had $4,000, that all this would go away and that it would be just like nothing happened. I told him that I didn't have the money yet, and he goes, well, I'm going to give you some more time. He goes, but next time it's going to be, now it's going up to $6,000.
Gonzalez says the meeting felt wrong, and at one point Mendez showed up with a different APD officer at his side.
I was like, wow, what am I going to do?
Did you feel kind of backed into a corner, like
yeah.
when he mentioned your workplace?
Yeah, because they knew where I worked. They knew, I felt like they knew me. That they were watching me or something, and I was like, wow. I felt like I was stuck between a rock and a hard place. I didn't know where to turn, but I felt like I couldn't go to the police department.
Because it was the police?
Because it was the police doing this to me.
Someone he could turn to was a customer at his store.
And I didn't realize that the FBI agency was right down the street from me. And I used to get a lot of regulars in there from there.
Gonzalez started talking to the FBI, allowing them access to his talks with Mendez.
Bottom line, eventually you're going to get caught.
Gonzalez was key to the cops getting caught. Federal search warrants reveal information he and others who came forward provided to investigators eventually led to federal charges for 13 people so far. His arresting officer charged with RICO conspiracy, crimes commonly associated with the mafia.
What do you hope happens?
that they get what's coming to them. I wish they were the ones that were paying for it all.
While Montano and the rest remain free, Gonzalez and those behind him in the lawsuit say this delayed justice isn't justice for them.
What would be your message to those officers?
How dare you take a job or take a position where you're supposed to take care of the community and you chose to abuse the community. You're here to protect and to serve the community and to make sure that we are safe, not to put more money in your pocket and not to use us that way.
Gabrielle Burkhart, KRQE Investigates.
The class action lawsuit against the city of Albuquerque, the New Mexico Department of Public Safety, and more than a dozen others named as defendants is pending in district court as the federal criminal case slowly plays out.